Thank you for tuning in to Rice TVX. Tonight's very special live stream, which we're going to get started here very shortly. A message of unity and freedom. United we stand, divided we fall. Getting the show started for you here in just moments. The American Pit Bull. And I must always shout out the sponsors of Rice TVX who help make it possible to bring this information to you and make it possible for me to be able to do this channel and make this my full-time job. This is my life. This is what I do. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you're following me on Library and Odyssey, where I have backups of all of my videos and I post up extra content. And that's where you'll find me, just in case something ever happens to my YouTube channel. Also, I encourage everyone to check out my Patreon channel, which is where I post up exclusive content. You get early access to videos, and it's a way to support the channel directly. And I have partnered up with Money Metals Exchange. Some of you may be familiar with this. But the way this is working, me partnering up with Money Metals Exchange gives you an opportunity to get a free ½ ounce of silver. And it's a great way to hedge against this coming hyperinflation and definitely new Great Depression that is coming. So all you need to do is go to moneymetals.com, be a first-time buyer, purchase only $100 or more, use the promo code RICE, R-I-C-E, and you get a free ½ ounce of silver, and it's a way to support the channel as well. Also, if you want to support the channel directly, I have my information listed down below for my PayPal, my Cash App, and different crypto addresses if you'd like to contribute or tip, and that would be definitely greatly appreciated. Also, I just want to say thank you again for tuning in. This video is something I kind of prepared. Normally, most everything I do is kind of pretty much ad hoc. I just kind of go with the flow. Don't really have like a set structure or anything like that. So, but I wrote down some notes, and I want to be peering down periodically and following along with what I've written, because this is really important. And I did post a video up on my Patreon channel for free and also on my library channel. It's entitled An Important Message, and I encourage people to check that out if you haven't already checked it out. Free on Patreon and also available on Library and Odyssey. And I will have the links down below as well. But most of you might know, I don't really have any political affiliation. I'm not pro-Trump. I'm not anti-Trump. I'm on the side of we the people. I'm on the side of freedom. I'm definitely not pro-Biden. Now, if Donald Trump is trying or is in the process of restoring our de jure republic of the States United of North America, which is a government of, by, and for the people, then he definitely has my support, 100%. But if not, it doesn't matter. Again, I'm not a fan of Joe Biden or his administration. I don't follow any alphabet stuff. I don't necessarily trust any plan. If there's a plan, I'm here to help it out. But I'm not going to sit back and just trust anything, especially trusting man. I trust God, but I don't trust man. And hopefully you feel the same way as well. But I'm not knocking people who followed those movements. I do appreciate it opening people's minds and getting people into researching things, which I think is extremely important. I apologize about that. So what we need is not Donald Trump necessarily. Again, he has my support if he's doing the things I mentioned. But what we need is what we have, and that is each other. And we need to come together. That's what the message of unity is about. That is where I would definitely agree with Joe Biden. We need unity. We need to come together. That's the only agreement you're going to hear from me on that. But we definitely need unity. We the people, united. When enough people take a stand, nothing can stand against the people. It's really simple. I say it all the time. But hopefully, the more I say it, the more it'll start to take effect. And people start realizing this, that we have power individually and we have that much more power collectively. We can change the entire world together. But the biggest problem that we have, in my opinion, is division. No unity. Everyone's divided, and that division is growing every day, each and every day by design. And when we look at our fellow man or fellow woman, our brothers and sisters, most of the time we look at what separates us. We look at how we're different instead of focusing on the common bonds and the similarities and how we can relate to one another. We need to overcome division with love, acceptance, tolerance, agreeing to disagree and move forward. And most importantly, to treat people how you want to be treated and to be the change that you want to see in this world. And that's what my whole practice change stuff is about. Practicing every day to be a better you, to be a better me. And we're going to make mistakes, but we learn and we grow. We grow and we learn from everything that we experience so that the next day we can practice more, become more mindful, and practice makes perfect. And being that change. It's really, really important right now. I practice change daily. Now, the saying goes, united we stand. United, we can change the world. And when enough people take a stand, nothing can stand against the people. And to quote John F. Kennedy in his 1961 inaugural speech, which you would see on the thumbnail, right here. Pull it up. We dare not forget. We are the heirs of that first revolution. I've mentioned that my four-time great-grandfather served what's equivalent to 4 tours of duty in the Revolutionary War. I am an heir of that first revolution. It's in my blood. I have a responsibility and you have a responsibility. We have a responsibility. Our checks and balances system is broken and does not work anymore. This government was supposed to be of the people, by the people, and for the people. Ask yourself, is this government for the people? You and me. There has been a corporate takeover of our nation, and the federal government has been taken control by de facto. And I encourage people to watch my videos on entitled USA versus USA Incorporated Parts 1 and 2. And I do have those linked down below, where I go over a little bit of the history, talking about the difference of the republic versus the corporation versus the de jure versus the de facto. So I encourage you to check those videos out. But after the Civil War, there was a period known as the Restoration, where the de jure government was supposed to be recreated, reconvened, reconstructed, but that never happened. And I'm going to be doing more videos about history from my research, especially United States, US, American history, but I'm also going to be going back into the early ADs, basically starting at the year of 4 emperors. So that's going to be coming out. So since our checks and balance system is broken, it's our responsibility to correct the situation. The right of revolution. This is natural law. I talk about natural law in previous videos. So make sure you're exploring my channel and checking out my videos. Check out the Freedom and Liberty playlist that I created. Also check out the Freedom Advocates and Activists playlist as well. Lots of great information, interviews, and such. But the right of revolution is the right or duty of the people to overthrow a government that has acted against the common interest and or safety of the people without cause, to replace the government with one that serves the interests of the people. John Locke, great guy, look him up, research this guy, said revolution is an obligation. It's our safeguard against tyranny. And I'm not encouraging or promoting violence of any sort. That needs to be clear. All we need is strength in numbers to treat each other how we want to be treated. And when enough people take a stand, nothing can stand against the people. Nothing about violence is said there at all. So I am not encouraging violence. And as it's written in the Declaration of Independence, written by Thomas Jefferson, when any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall most likely be affect their safety and happiness. And, these are community rights. The law of redress is another thing that I'm going to be talking about that I encourage people to research. And I encourage people to research what I'm saying and research what other people are saying and fact check. Do your own research and do your own due diligence. Educate yourself and empower yourself. And this is why I've been researching history. I've been looking into ways of possibly changing my status or what one would need to do to become the sovereign living man or woman. Not talking about sovereign citizen or any of that crap. Okay, just to be clear and get that out of the complete vocabulary of anything I'm going to be talking about forward. So I'm looking into and I've interviewed individuals involved in some of these movements towards freedom. We have American States Assembly, we have conventions of state, we have Life Force and their states assemblies, the Panterra PCA and Gemstone University, the Republic of the United States of America, the various quantum grammar groups, the Purple Thumb Club, the Purple Thumb Community, the Blue Thumb Club. There's so many different groups out here, but none of which are working together in any fashion. And I'm trying to look into why. And I'm also thinking about the idea of creating an open invitation town hall forum, inviting people out, trying to find ways of having common bonds and ways that we can unite, work together, because we need strength in numbers. When I'm done with this, I'll go to the live chat and see what everybody's saying. I do appreciate everybody for tuning in. I hope this information is a little bit educational, a little bit inspiring. I've been researching things like the legal fiction, looking into common law, maritime law, admiralty law, this occult commerce system, legal fiction, straw man stuff, as I mentioned. Are we lost at sea? Do we not know our name? Do we need to return to the land? Until then, I'm just kind of a nomad pirate, the American pit bull. And I'm just trying to make my way through, learn as much as I can. Again, educate yourself, do your own research, do your own due diligence, empower yourself, educate yourself, because this will help undo the conditioning that we've been conditioned with through the education system, through our social lives, through our family lives, going to school, television, movies, all the programming and all the conditioning. This is a way for us to undo it by educating ourselves, empowering ourselves. And I'm going to look more into things regarding status, such as a state national or state citizen, the American citizen passports, and other different methods, whether it's a live life claim with Purple Thumb Community or something to that effect. I'm going to look into all these different avenues and find out all the different ways that people can get to the same finish line, because I don't feel like there's only one path to freedom. And for anyone telling you that there's only one path to freedom, they're definitely wrong, because freedom is supposed to be about choice. And if you don't have choice, then how do you have freedom? It's kind of a conundrum to me. And so as I learn more, I'm going to share more. My history videos will be focused on how we got here. Like I said, from the early 1st century, kind of going from the year of 4 emperors, looking into Rome, England, UK, US, and I'm going to ask others to add to and to correct me when I might be wrong, because I may be wrong about things. And I definitely would like for other people to be able to contribute to this, because this is not just me. You know, the way we're going to do this is together. The way we're going to do anything, the way we're going to change the world is together, because when enough people take a stand, nothing can stand against the people. So if you feel strongly about what I'm saying, you want to get involved, you want to help, or you want to know more information about any of the things I just talked about, my contact information is in video description. United we stand, divided we fall. We the people need to come together. And I'm not talking about all capitalized we the people, if people want to come in here and correct my etymology and my words. I'm saying the people, we, as in you and me, all of us. We have the power individually. Individually, we have the power to make change, to spark change. No matter how big or small that impact is, we all have the ability to make an impact. So make an impact. And together, we have the ability to change everything. But we got to get past this division. I don't have all the answers. Do not have all the answers. And I don't claim to know everything. I don't claim to be right. But I am educating myself. I'm researching. I'm seeking the truth. I'm seeking answers. And as I learn, I try to teach and try to make this a cyclical thing. Cycles. So I learn, I teach, and it's just a cycle. And I appreciate the people that are teaching me, and I appreciate the people that want to learn from me. I appreciate that. But again, fact check what I say. I encourage everyone to be educating themselves. Do your own due diligence and do your own research. Educate and empower yourself. So again, I encourage others interested and inspired to reach out to me. Teamwork makes the dream work. And feel free to share this video. Take clips from it, anything that you think might be inspirational to others. If you know people involved in any of the groups that I've mentioned that I haven't had on my show, reach out to me. I do have Kat Peterson. She's going to be working with me, helping me out with booking and doing some things in regards to research. So she may be reaching out to some of these people in groups. So I would definitely appreciate any feedback and suggestions. And I think that the series that I'm going to be doing covering the history stuff is going to be pretty cool. I'm going to be doing it in a couple of different ways. And I'm maybe doing like a Google document and sharing that with everybody to be able to add suggestions and things to that effect. So let me go ahead and look and see what we got going on in the comments here. Again, I appreciate everybody so much for tuning in. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you're subscribed and smash that like button. It helps other people to be able to see this information. That's the way the YouTube algorithm works. And if you're not, or excuse me, if you are subscribed and you haven't hit the notification bell, make sure you hit that notification bell. So thank you, Dime Bar. Thank you, Pauline Coleman. I appreciate you tuning in. HQ2. I want to say that's David Michael. If it is, what's going on, my friend? Pauline Coleman again. Thank you. We have Paul Nolan 1-10 or 1/1024. Dime Bar, Kat Peterson. I'm repeating people's names. I apologize. Hope H, aka Action Nakamoto Unity. What's going on? That message is unity, because we definitely need to come together. Thank you, Freedom, for tuning in. Let me see who else has joined us through the ether. Thank you so much. Irma Walstra, thank you. Davy Boy Truth 22, thank you. Tara Spence, thank you so much. Kay Abhold, I appreciate you tuning in. Tamara Gamble. I don't know, every time I get to your name, for some reason, it just tongue twists out of my mouth. I've been doing a lot of content today. Speaking of that, let me do a quick screen share here. Oh, wrong one. Okay, so check out my Patreon channel. There is some free videos there. It's a minimum of $5 to become a patron to support what I do directly. I did an interview earlier with Nicholas. I always have a problem trying to say his name. Vinny Amin, yeah. So Nicholas and I, we did a video together collaborating. Early access is on my Patreon right now. Me and M Secret of Truth, we did a video as part of his Greg Howlett documentary series. This is me closing the book on Greg Howlett. That's a free video, so you can check that out right now. And the Andreas Antonopoulos interview that premiered earlier tonight at 5 p.m. earlier, a couple hours ago, you could have gotten early access to that. And this is the video that I'm encouraging people to check out. Again, it's free on my Patreon channel, and it's also on my Library and Odyssey channels. And it's called Important Message, Inauguration 2021-17, Trump's thoughts. I need to correct that to Trump thoughts. But you get the idea. So I definitely encourage you to check out my Patreon channel. And make sure you're checking out my Library and Odyssey channel as well, because that's where I'm posting up backups of all of my content. I'm going to do a screen share and show that, because I'm also posting up extra videos. And there's a lot of really good videos that people need to check out that I encourage people to check out. So I'll go ahead and highlight. As you can see, the important message videos here. Also, I did a clip from a video that me and Stan did that just kind of shortens this message that I've been talking about. There's an awesome documentary a friend of mine did, Smiley Gnome, called The Big Plantation. He gave me permission to post it up. It's available for free on my Patreon channel, and it's also available right here on Library and Odyssey. So check that out. A lot of times videos get lost in the shuffle on YouTube, so I can actually repost things. And this is a video that I put out a couple months back, 5 months ago. It's called In the Name of JFK, Truth, Freedom, and the First Amendment. And I definitely encourage people to check that video out. I definitely feel like I'm dealing with a lot of shadow banning. There's a really cool speech here that Bruce Porter Jr. from Global Boost did. And Global Boost was one of the sponsors of my Washington, D.C. trip when I went out there on the 6th of January. So there's all kinds of extra content on my Library and Odyssey channel. And I have backups of everything that you'll find on YouTube. So that's what's really cool. And the reason I choose Library and Odyssey, so Odyssey is a sister channel or sister company of Library. It all utilizes the Library technology, but Odyssey is competing directly with YouTube. Library itself is the most decentralized content sharing platform, publishing platform out there. So when people are talking about things like BitChute and Rumble and all these other different platforms, they have server control issues, as you saw with Parler. And do you think this is over yet? So the way that Library works is they distribute the videos and the content via nodes, and it's distributed amongst a blockchain, a network of computers. So it's completely different than having central servers. So that's why I encourage other content creators to be using Library as well. Once you use Library, it's automatically on Odyssey. If you sign up on Odyssey, it'll automatically be on Library, and you can earn cryptocurrency. They have their own cryptocurrency on their platform. LBC is the ticker, and it's for Library credits. So I'm going to have the CEO from Library on my show again here soon as well. And I have a playlist created as well for Library that I encourage people to check out. Another social media platform that I encourage people to check out is flote.app, FLOTE.app. And I'm actually streaming right now on Flote, as well as on my Twitter account via Periscope and my YouTube channel. So Flote is a social media platform that promotes freedom of speech. So I would definitely encourage you to check that platform out as well. I try to be as active as I can on that platform and be as supportive as well. Denise Marks, thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning in. Seeing if I'm missing anybody else as I'm going through the list. So let's see here. Irma Wastra. So yeah, as I was saying, this is my third conversation. Plus I've had a couple phone calls I've had to make. So I'm at the tail end of my day, and my voice is at the tail end of its day as well. Let's see here. Again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Stephen McElwain, thank you. I appreciate. Dizoso. Kathy Calendar, thank you so much. Crypto Nana 4LTC. I love you, Nana. Thank you so much for tuning in. Nana was the first person to support me on Patreon, and she's been very supportive of me over the past few years, and I appreciate her and her daughter, Litecoin Lisa. And if you're not subscribed to Lisa's channel, make sure you're checking out Litecoin Lisa's channel. I encourage everyone also to check out my interview that I did earlier with Andreas Antonopoulos. He is a Bitcoin expert and author of 5 books, highly sought after person in the cryptocurrency space. It's a video about debunking this Bitcoin FUD. I also had a conversation this past Tuesday with Max Kaiser, the host of the Kaiser Report and Orange Pill podcast, and the inspiration for the Rice Report. So I got to have Max Kaiser of the Kaiser Report on the Rice Report. It was very cool. So it was my 3rd time having Max Kaiser on the show. And I feel so very blessed and humbled just to be able to have conversations with people like Andreas and Max, and then be able to have conversations with people like Anna von Reitz and Kim Goguen, and be able to talk to like historians and researchers like Ralph Ellis, and be able to meet people like David Michael and people like Stan Barabbas from Bodhisattva Love, and Lee Pimpy from Pimpy's Investment Chat. So I know I'm missing, leaving a lot of people out, but that would be a long video if I was to sit here and try to call out and shout out everybody that I love so very much. But you know who you are. So I do appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, I hope that this video has been a little bit of an inspiration to you. I hope it's making you think, because all of this division that we have, the majority of it, I'm not going to say 100%, but the majority of this division that we have is 100% by design. So we need to overcome that. Look for those common bonds. Look for the similarities, not the differences. And treat people how you want to be treated. And educate yourself about the history of who you are and the history of where you live. Now, I know a lot of this stuff has been more centric to the United States, and I have lots of viewers all around the world. And what I will say is the history series is going to be touching on global. So that's going to be more towards everybody. The U.S. history stuff, the founding fathers gave us in this land an opportunity with the groundwork that they've laid and set for us to potentially be able to correct this situation. And ultimately, if the United States can be successful in what we're trying to do, and what a lot of people would like to see do, hopefully we could be a light to the rest of the world. And these examples can be followed, and people can do similar things, because the ultimate idea is for everyone to be self-governing, self-sovereign, accountable for everything that you do, responsible for what you say, do, and your actions. It'll be a completely different world when everybody truly treats everybody how they want to be treated. By practicing change is how you can do that. Practice every day. And again, to quote John F. Kennedy, we dare not forget that we are heirs of that first revolution. And when enough people take a stand, absolutely nothing can stand against the people. It's so simple. How do we get to that point? How do we wake everybody up, and how do we get through all this division and come together? Because I said it before, I can stand beside somebody I don't necessarily like if we're standing for the same reason. There's no reason why these groups that I mentioned, the American States Assemblies, the Life Force States Assemblies, the various forms of United States governments, republics, governments, and all these different things that are forming, there's no reason why any of these can't be working together in some fashion. Because I can tell you there are common bonds. Most all these people talk about legal fiction, corporate United States. Most all these people talk about freedom. Is freedom not enough for us all to come together? We're losing our freedom of speech. Some people are saying it's dead. Is this not enough for people to wake up? Was 2020 not enough of a red pill for you? If it's not, what will it take? It's time. The time is now. When enough people take a stand, nothing can stand against the people. So I hope, again, you guys found some value in today's video. I do appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you smashing that like button. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribed. The interview that I did with Nicholas Viniaman is going to be out tomorrow, sometime midday. I'm going to be editing it tonight. I'm going to eat dinner after this, and then I want to edit that video, and I'll have it up tomorrow. I may do a live stream tomorrow night. If not, I'm possibly going to do something Sunday. And yeah, I want to shout out again a few more people that came in. Douglas Dennis Reich, thanks for coming in. See David Robert David Steele's site. I'll check it out. I've actually reached out to him, see if he's interested in coming on the show. Haven't heard anything back. Ruben Rodriguez, yes, it was great meeting you in Washington, D.C., my friend. I'm sorry we didn't get to spend a lot of time together. Me and him met right there in the parking lot at the Senate on Capitol Hill. Crazy amount of people there, so it was hard to just sit there and socialize. But thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Again, I appreciate everybody else for tuning in. And as always, I encourage you to be the change by practicing change. And I love you all.